Say amen. Oh la 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 la. Amen. Amen. Our lives go better. Family go better. Everything go better. It go better. It go better. Amen. 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 Your lives go better. Amen. Family go better. Everything go better. Amen. It go better. Amen. It go better. Amen. 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 Woo! Welcome, 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 welcome to another edition of Marriage Clinic Live. I remain your host, Morolayo Ann Owoputi. How are you today? Thank you for joining us for another edition of Marriage Clinic Live. And today promises to be an interesting section as we are going to be looking at the topic, the importance of premarital counseling and marriage counseling, the importance of premarital and marriage counseling. And today we are privileged to have with us the counselor herself. Tunbi Olabisi. She's a licensed professional counselor and a relationship therapist. She's a married mentor and she's an author as well of 2 books titled Marital First Aid and also Boys Meet Girl. She has featured in various TV, radio, and social media programs promoting healthy relationships. She organizes training workshops for counselors, singles, and married couples. She's the MD of Life and Relationship Synergy, and she's happily married with kids. It's a privilege to have with us today at Marriage Clinic Live, Tunbi Olabisi. Woo! Welcome, 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 welcome. We celebrate you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, it's wonderful to be here. Thank you.
Yeah,
for
welcome to Marriage Clinic.
appreciate. Yeah.
So let's go straight to the point. I want to believe that there is a lot to learn from you today, and we are going to start out by asking, what is premarital counseling and what is marriage counseling? What is it all about? Because some people may have been hearing it, but they don't know what it's really all about or what it entails. So we want you to enlighten us today.
Okay, exactly. So, as the word premarital entails, premarital is actually a type of counseling that couples who are in love and who wants to actually take their relationship, further into marriage. It's a type of counseling that they are supposed to engage in so that they can have better understanding of the journey ahead. So basically, premarital counseling, is for couples who are actually looking towards getting married. On the other hand, too, is also what we call premarital education. So it does not mean, even if you don't have a spouse, you know, in the waiting, you can also learn what it is, what marriage entails. You can learn the skills and, every other thing that you will need to be able to relate better in terms of relationship. So it's any other knowledge or skills that you want to learn and acquire before you actually commence the journey of marriage. And why marital counseling, on the other hand, people say that people feel that conflict is actually, a negative word or an adverse word. But no, it's actually a part of, it's a feature in marriage or in relationship, any relationship. You are going to experience conflict. And as a result of that, when conflict comes in, people will definitely need people. They will need people that have been trained to actually help them. So marriage counseling focus on helping couples who are married to actually, get better in their relationship, or resolve conflicts or learn do their relationship better. So basically, one is for singles, the other one is for couples who are married or who are in committed relationship.
Sure. Okay. Okay, thank you for that. So, what is the importance of premarital counseling to the success of a marriage?
Wow, the importance of premarital is enormous.
Hmm.
Is really, really enormous. Taking cognizance of the fact that in recent times there has been a lot of statistics rolling out of divorce and all of that. So it's
Yeah.
really a no-brainer with what we are seeing that half of people who are married are going to get divorced within 7 years of marriage. So
Hmm.
learning how to, and for marriage is one of the odd institution that you find yourself that there is really no formal training before you get into it.
True.
So what premarital tries to address is actually now giving that, filling the gap of that information, so that you understand what it entails to be married. You can acquire the relational skills that will help you to actually do it better, because nobody gets into marriage with the mind that, oh, they want to exit the marriage or they want to go into divorce, as funny as that may sound. So the benefits of premarital counseling is it helps you to actually understand the institute that you are really going into. It helps you to develop some of the skills that you probably do not have before then. It creates awareness about yourself and about your partner, and it also creates an avenue for you to actually understand your differences in the space of an unbiased and non-judgmental person, usually a therapist or a counselor.
Okay. Thank you for that.
You
So,
know.
we've seen cases. I want us to go a bit practical now. So we've seen cases whereby people will be like, "Oh, I just love that guy. Oh, I just love this lady. We are both in love, so we just want to get married." And for them, they believe that is the love. All they need is the love to sustain the marriage or to keep going. But you are trying to let us know now that premarital counseling is important as well to the success of the marriage. But some people may say, "Oh, so how many premarital counseling did our old grandparents get before they went into marriage? That some of them were just given to marriage and all of that, and they made the success of it, blah blah, and things like that." So, how can we convince these young people that times have changed and that they really need to get premarital counseling? Because it's possible the guy may believe in premarital counseling and the lady doesn't believe in it, perhaps due to upbringing. It's possible the lady believes in it and the guy doesn't believe in it. So, how do we handle such situation?
Okay. So it's really not a very um it's something that is we experience or we see often in the industry, whereby you see one partner is willing, the other partner is unwilling to come into therapy, or one person just even feel that why do we need to go into counseling? We love ourselves and that is all that matters. But in reality, we now know that love is not enough to do marriage. You need to have acquired skills, relational skills that will help you to undo some of the things you are going to be experiencing in marriage. You
Mm,
know, one of the things that premarital would also do is, I tell people that premarital counseling is like the hindsight and the foresight for your relationship. Couples who are getting into marriage, they are in love, they have their blind spots. you
true.
know there are some things that they are not going to see, or they will just wish
Overlook.
away and say that, oh no, it's going to change when we get married. Oh, our love is enough to carry us along. So one of the things that premarital is going to do is to confront you with those things,
Mm,
and also with it. Of course, there are some red flags that are going to come up that a trained counselor would actually tell you and let you know that, what, this is it.
mm,
Is this what you want to deal with for the rest of your life? Because the truth is, You cannot change anybody except they are willing to want to change.
True.
So those are the things that premarital counseling are going to expose people to. It doesn't. It's only odd for people to think that they can plan for a wedding, but they don't really need to plan for marriage. So
Marriage.
if you want to build, do you go and do you invest all of your resources for housewarming when you have not even done any architectural plans?
Foundation.
So it's just it is just the minimum of investment you can give to your marriage if truly you do not want to suffer the consequences. Because when issues are happening in marriage, it's not only the couple that are now going to be facing that. The children, if they bring in children, and
True.
we already know what people who come from broken homes or dysfunctional homes, what they face these days. So you want to actually prevent yourself from headache and headache that can be avoidable by actually getting to know and exploring things that you need to know about yourself, about your partner.
Okay, so that is true. So premarital counseling is actually an investment.
It is.
Is actually an investment into the marriage. It's just like, acquiring a land, but you are now investing in the foundation, investing your resources in the survey, architectural design, and things like that. So premarital counseling is very vital because it is an investment into
Mm-hmm.
that marriage relationship that you are about to go into as a young lady or as a young man. So that this takes us to the next question, which says, what should intending couples be doing or be discussing about during courtship? Because these days we get quite a number of cases on marriage clinic that someone will say, oh, since I go into this marriage, our fight is about food, our fight is about sex. And some people will now be thinking, okay, so what were you guys discussing when you were courting or when you were dating? Were you just going about to all the restaurants in town, eating away without asking all the necessary and the vital questions? So the question now is, what should young people that are either in courtship or dating, what should they be doing during this period, especially for those that are into serious relationship that will lead to marriage? What should they be doing or what should they be discussing about? We need to know.
Thank you for that question, and you have led me into my answer already by saying that courtship is not actually the only thing you do in courtship or dating is not just dining, going to cinemas, eating at different places and all of that. Marriage is actually a commitment, that you are committed to someone, saying that I'm going to spend the rest of my life with you, but not only spending the rest of my life with you, but spending the rest of my life discovering who you are. You understand?
Yeah.
So, number one thing that people that are dating or courting should be discussing is actually discovering what this person is, who this person is. There is actually human beings, they are like a tour which you cannot finish exploring. There is a
True.
lot that you have to explore about human beings. And so that should be the number one focus when people are dating and courting. Like, I want to know all about this person. I want to know this person's trauma. I want to know this person's triumph. I want to know what this person has passed through. I want to know this person's vision. I want to know where this person is going. I want to know what the goal of this person is. Then, about the marriage that you even want to go into and build, what is the vision that you have about it? Courtship period is not even enough to discuss all about it, but it's a starting point for people to discuss. What kind of marriage do we want to build? What kind of home are we going to build or are we going to make? Are we going to have children or not? How many children are we going to have? Okay, if we had a delay, what is going to happen? Are we open to different options of conception? Are we going to adopt? And these are hard questions that it's amazing that people bring it into counseling much later on. And you're wondering, you mean they didn't discuss this? Even where do you want to live? Where do you want to live? Do you have plan that you are going to relocate? Or you plan that you are not going to leave Nigeria no matter how Nigeria becomes? You know? So those are
True.
questions that people, oh, how about sex? How about sex? What are the discussion? You have a lot of discussion that has come across intimacy, eroticism, you know, all of those. What are your preferences? These are deep questions, and you have to face it head on right from courtship. How about in-laws? How are you going to be spending your holidays? Are we
True.
going to do Pala at mommy's place or at grandpa's or at your own house? How do you want to
Oh,
spend the Christmas? These are things you want to discuss about. Oh, are we going to have people living in with us?
was true.
Or is it going to be me and my husband alone? How much influence are we going to allow? What roles are we going to be playing? Are you the man that you will never cook? Like, oh, no, I've never seen my father cooking, so it's not part of it. And so, you know, people get into marriage and it looks as if there is a spell that was cast on them, but no, they just did not ask the questions that they were supposed to or they were meant to ask in courtship. So these are questions that people really, really have to have. Oh, are you going to change your name if you get married? Because you can't just automatically think that someone says that, oh, once I marry, I need to change my name. And these are issues that we deal with in the counseling room.
Thank you for that, Zumbi. So that takes us to the question of does that mean that if people don't get premarital counseling, they cannot have a successful marriage?
Well, people can get premarital counseling for the sake of just taking it as a certificate. You know, because you know that there are some people, there are some places they will not marry you until you go
Oh,
through
yes.
the, you know.
True.
But then I have a question mark on some of the premarital counseling that also goes out there, you know. So now the success of a marriage depends solely or majorly on even the willingness of the two parties to make their relationship work. You understand? So
Yeah.
you can even learn all of the skills, but if you are not going to apply it, if you're not going to make it work, it's still going to be a waste. However, research has shown that people who had actually went through premarital counseling have over 30%, over 70% success rates, you know, and 30% marital satisfaction more than people who didn't.
True.
You understand? So from statistics, from research, from experience, we've seen the difference between people who actually prepared for the marriage and those who just prepared for the wedding and didn't think that premarital should be part of the cards when preparing for the marriage. You know, so it's just very important if people want to experience, you know, a marital bliss.
Okay, so how can we say, or in your own, maybe from your experience, how can we determine that someone is ready or prepared for marriage? How do we know that this intending partner, is equipped or is ready for marriage? Because we've seen people, like you said earlier, even they've gone through premarital counseling, but it's like everything they taught them went through this, they came out from here, they are not putting it into practice. Or I mean, from like you always say, life is all about relationship. But from your relationship with this intending spouse, is there a way to assess or to know whether this person who that I'm dating or that I'm courting will make a good wife or a good husband, or he or she will not make a good one?
Hmm. Wow. That's a good one. That's a good one. I think some of the things we can watch out or you can watch out for is actually maturity. And maturity is not in age. We know that by now. That maturity is not in age. But how mature is this person? What's the reasoning of this person like? Is this person open-minded or is just fixated? You understand? This is just my way or the highway. How flexible is this person? Can this person accept influence? You know, because one person cannot just do marriage their own way.
True.
You know that it will end in a dangerous path. So also you want to, aside from the maturity, is this person, does this person have the capacity to actually build a home? For instance, when people are going to come in together and become one, finance is involved. Is this person working?
True.
I mean, work does not mean that you have to be, doing a paid job. You could be working for yourself. You could be self-employed and self-sustaining. So that's what you want to look at. That financially, does this person have the capacity to actually take all? Because marriage takes money to also maintain.
True.
You need finance to maintain marriage
you
too.
need money to maintain marriage. Yeah.
So you want to look at do you have shared values? Do you have shared beliefs? Because people also have big issues in this regard. And when I'm talking about shared beliefs, I'm not only talking about, oh, you are both Christians or you are both Muslims or you are attending the same church. We're talking about mentality, reasoning. You understand? How do you see things? Values. You understand? Do you believe in integrity? Do you believe in honesty? And this person believes that I have to cut corners. There is no way the marriage will not be torn apart if you are different. You are posed apart in your values. So you want to look at it that, oh, this person, how much of these values do we share? What are the strengths? I usually tell people that for singles, you need to do a SWOT analysis of your life. You understand? What are your
strengths, weakness?
Yeah, weakness, opportunity, and the threat. It's part of your self-awareness. It's one of the things that will help you to now say, who am I going to be looking for? Who am I going to be looking for? And
who also, am I going to allow into my life?
Yeah. And also I have traffic rule for relationship: the green, the red, the yellow. What are the characteristics or the features that are in your green? Does this person fit into the green? Does it have the attributes that fit into your own green? Or is it just red, 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 red? Do you understand? And what are the things that are in your yellow? The things that are in your yellow are things that you are looking at it that, okay, it's not really a do or die thing. You get it? Okay. Maybe if it doesn't help me in the kitchen, I can get an house help. You get it? Okay. Maybe if we don't go for Christmas at this place, we can do New Year at this place. Things that you feel that you are flexible about majorly.
That you are willing to compromise a little bit here and there.
Without actually going against your own self, without feeling that you are betraying your own self and who you are, because it's important.
True. While the red is?
So the red are the things that you won't even compromise at all. For some people, it's a matter of faith. Do you understand? For some people, there are just some things that are so important for them, and they are not going to compromise in that regard. So is your no-go area.
Okay, thank you for that. The traffic rules for relationship. I hope we understood that. So she has really taken her time to explain it. And I want us to keep watching this video and to go back and watch it again so that we can understand all these things, because you will learn a lot. from this video. So Tunbi, that takes us to the next question. So this is actually for married couples who are already in it. They are in the marriage already, but they are
Okay.
finding it very turbulent.
Hmm.
Issues here and there, problems here and there. And one of them is thinking, oh, okay, so maybe we need marriage counseling at this stage. And the other
Hmm.
person will be like, well, you can go for the marriage counseling. I'm not interested. I don't need marriage counseling because I've seen some that will tell you that, I know it all. I don't need a counselor. I don't need third party. I don't need anyone to advise me or tell me how to rule my home.
Mhm.
Meanwhile, in the actual sense, their action or behavior in that marriage shows that they know nothing about how to sustain a marriage or how to even hold a home together, yet they will insist we don't want to go for counseling. So maybe you should shed more light on the importance of marriage counseling, why you still need to do marriage counseling or go for counseling even though you are already married.
Hmm. So this is a case of one partner willing and the other partner not willing.
Mm.
It would have been very great and um, oh, let's just go together and seek
True.
unwilling. It still does not stop the other person from actually seeking the help. Because you see, marriage is not, yeah, I know that it takes two. It's about the two. It takes two to make or break marriage. That's it. I believe it. I say it, wholeheartedly. But there are times because you are dealing with you are dealing with people and you are dealing with an adult. You can't force an adult to do what they don't want to do. However, your own life is also involved. You are also an individual. So are you going to kill yourself in that relationship? Are you going to keep on taking all the toxic without any outlets? So sometimes it is okay. In fact, you don't even need to wait if your partner is unwilling to actually go in. You can go in for yourself to seek clarity, to learn how would you be able to cope? What are the things? And I said it takes two to make or break a marriage. There are actually some other things that you yourself you are doing that counseling would help you see. Maybe if you can work on that, it can change the dynamics of the relationship. You understand? But most importantly is you need to be sane. You need to have clarity. You need to be self-aware. You need help even for yourself. And if you can be able to do that, that is also contributing immensely to the relationship. Most of the time, it happens whereby it is one partner that comes into therapy first, and later on, the other partner joins. It's not impossible, but it can also still work if you proceed to actually seek help for your marriage.
Can you tell us some of the benefits of marriage counseling, of getting periodic marriage counseling, even though you are already in the marriage? I mean, from time to time, we might need to attend, even if it's marriage seminars, marriage workshop, or actually go for marriage counseling, because over time, some spouses will need it just to remind themselves that, see, these are the things you need to keep doing to make your marriage work if you actually want it for a lifetime and not for a short time.
Absolutely. You have even shared part of the benefits sincerely, because the truth is, take for instance your health. You don't wait. I mean, we now know that we don't have to wait until the big illness come and eat on us before we
True.
now go for checkup. We go for medical checkup routinely. Anyone that actually wants to have a sustainable relationship must also cultivate a routine habit of doing their marital checkup. That's what I call it. How are we faring? Are we still in this? Are we still working in the same way? And you need the help of a professional to help you to be able to do this. Because sometimes when you have to talk about shared dreams, whereby whatever the person had told you when you were dating is already changing or has totally changed. You know, you might need somebody else to help you. Oh, somebody said that, oh, I would never start a business of my own. And all of a sudden, the person just resigned. And you're wondering what happened. People change. That is it. That's what happens. But when you are experiencing all of these changes, you also need a routine checkup on your marriage so that there will be a presence of, you know, a trained person who can be able to help you out with all of this. And it is not only people who have issues in their marriage that goes in for counseling. That's a myth. It's not the truth.
True.
You don't, you know, it's not only people that are unwell that go to the hospital.
True.
So sometimes it's a preventing measure for marriage to actually go in so that before things are out of place, because most of the time people go into counseling when it's already late.
True.
People go into, you know, but who does that? Who waits till the cancer has become a full grown, you know, before you now say you want to commence treatment? So I see marriage counseling as a preventive measures for married couples, and everybody, with no exemption of anyone, you know, is supposed to not go for counseling.
So that tells us that prevention is always better than cure. I mean, it's better and even cheaper for you to prevent
At the long run,
than for you to allow it happen and you now want to start, addressing it. So prevention is always better than cure. We have heard that from Tunbi. So another thing is, so there's this saying, actually, I think we also mentioned it while you were discussing, that it takes two to make marriage work. It takes two. But we've seen cases whereby one person will be like, you know what, I'm done, I'm not interested anymore. I mean, no matter how much you try to persuade them, cancel them, one will be like, no, I know when I'm done, and I'm done at this point. So in such situation, do you think counseling can help, can do it? Or, I mean, we are adults in the relationship. You can't force an adult to do what they don't want to do. But when one party says, you know what, I'm done, I don't want this anymore. For some, they've even run off, they've left the house, run off to another, to another person. When that happens, can counseling still work?
Yeah, so it depends on what work means. Do you understand? So work necessarily does not mean that can counseling actually now make that marriage to be workable. Do you understand? Work could be that can counseling actually help these two individuals to be healthy? Because you see, these are two people that were in love before and they came together. They had actually become one at some point. You know, the process of tearing is just like you have two papers, you glue it together, you now want to tear it. It's not going to come back whole as one piece again. Do you understand? So that's why you see a lot of hurt, a lot of resentment, and all of that. So counseling also helps these individuals to actually heal, so that even if they are going to go their separate ways, they will still go as whole. That is actually another work that counseling does. You understand? But people have also, because they don't have necessary tools, they don't have what, they don't know how, they don't know the how to actually get out of maybe a gridlock conflict, or some situation whereby it looks as if they can't even see eyeball to eyeball. Counseling can help. Counseling can still help, because when you take the elephant in the room out of the whole case, you will see that they can be able to now resolve and find a common ground to actually start again. So many times it is not all of us that are going to have to leave our marriage. You understand? But you will have to have 2 or 3 or 4 marriages with one partner with our partner. That's one of the things that change will do. So what I'm saying in essence is, whatever it is that they have been doing as at that point when it looks as if it's not working, marriage can also still help out to help them rework it, and it gives them a different dynamic of a relationship.
True. So that takes us to the last question. A question on conflict management. Now, I mean, at times quarrel is part of this love relationship, because we can't all say, even those of us, that are married, that our marriage is doing well and all of that, we can't say that we don't quarrel or have misunderstanding at times. I mean, there will be conflict at times, but I noticed that some people don't know how to handle conflict. Like, I was speaking to someone today, and she was telling me why she left her marriage is because the man doesn't know how to talk to her when he's angry. That when he's angry, he will shout on top of his voice. All their neighbors will hear what he's saying. That he will call her useless woman, call her prostitute, call her illiterate, uneducated wife, call her all sorts in public. And so she told herself that, rather than her to continue to face this public ridicule, that even she will slap her in the presence of others, that rather than her to continue to face this ridicule, that she's no
Rather,
more, she's not interested again. And that is how she flee. So, I mean, the issue, when you look at the issue between them, it's a very minor thing that should not cause their marriage to break. But just because they don't know how to manage conflict when maybe one party is angry, or when there is a misunderstanding, it has led to the marriage falling apart. So, what do you think about conflict management? Then, do you think every conflict in marriage should lead to a separation or to a divorce?
I don't think every conflict should lead to divorce. You understand? But I also want to just enlighten us a bit about conflict. I said earlier that conflict is a permanent feature in relationship. Where you have two people, there is bound to be conflict, because you have different orientation, you have different upbringing, you have different tastes, you have different expectations. Some of it you won't even say it. Some of it you yourself you don't even know. Not to talk of even finding clear expression about it.
True.
So there are bound to be conflict. Now, the presence of conflict is not what makes the marriage not to work, or is not what will make it to actually lead to divorce. What will make conflict to lead to divorce is one of the things you have mentioned. Oh, if I had picked about 2 or 3 from this particular incident that happened today that you shared just now. You said the man was calling her names. You understand? Any conflict whereby you are attacking the person rather than the situation, it is just a matter of time. It's heading towards divorce.
True.
Just a matter of time. Because whatever conflict you have that makes you to demean a person to a mere object or something that is not of valuable is a matter of time. It's divorce is knocking. You understand? Also, when there are lots of criticism, oh, you don't know how to do anything and all of that, what, you are not good, you are not good person, what is it, and all of that. That also will lead. So there are some things that when it is present in conflict, it will definitely lead to divorce. It's just a matter of time. It's a time. You understand? So content, you see some people, the way they look at their partner like this, even though they are not talking, it's not only when you are talking and you are shouting that can actually lead to divorce. Even some silence, they are as dangerous. They are as loud as any kind of noise, like rolling of eyes, looking at the person as if the person is not even human beings. So now I just want to let us know that it is when all of this is embedded in conflict that it becomes a big deal. Now, how do we get out of conflict? It's not all conflicts that are resolvable. I loved your word. It was as if you chose it. But I don't know if you know. You said conflict management. Because there are some conflicts that you just have to learn to manage because they are embedded in a lot of things. You get it?
Yeah.
However, when for one of the skills that I can quickly mention because of our time in conflict management is when there are issues, please address the issue, not the person.
Listen.
You understand? So for
Yeah.
instance, if you want your partner to help you out in the kitchen with the house chores, don't say you never help out. You are saying it in a way that will make the person not to even help out at all. Because the person already feel attack. It's like you are going for my personality. You are going for my person. You have left the situation. It's not about you don't help me out again. It's about me. So people have to learn. I tell people that you might even have to watch out, if possible, remove the word always. Never. In generalization. And we should train our children, even right from now on, to stop saying that, because there is really nothing absolute. To say that, oh, you always do this, you never do this. It's just that that's the way it's magnified in our own eyesight. For the recipients, they will remember one didn't do that thing. And so they don't want to listen to you. It feels like, oh, you are lying because you think I never. What of that day you were sick and I helped you to wash the plates? So it didn't make that conversation or your statement to be authentic enough for them to be able to. So that's one way. Another way is also for couples to really, really want to listen to each other. Really want to listen to each other. Now, somebody will not listen to you when you wake them up in the middle of the night and say, oh yeah, let us talk about this matter. Or when the person is just coming back. So there is timing a lot. Timing plays a whole lot of role in if it's the conflict going to be managed or is going to go sour. So you need to take cognizance of the time. And for people who are not even married, the reason why they need to go to premarital is also so that they can learn some skills that will help them to be able to manage conflict. Because no matter how much you love yourself right now, conflict is. It may look as if you are not fighting right now, but you see, in marriage, you're going to fight. And you need to know how to fight and fight well. And I will also say that people should not see themselves as the enemy. You understand? We fight as if our partner is the enemy. No. Your partner is not your enemy.
True.
Don't fight dirty. Don't fight as if there is no tomorrow. That's how some people handle situation. Conflicts when there are issues, there is something we call them physiological flooding, or emotionally you can't take in anything. See, there's a situation, there is a place you get to when you are arguing or when things are turning to argument, whereby you cannot even hear, you are no longer reasonable. You can't hear what the person is saying again. In fact, that is the level people get to before there is a physical abuse too, or emotional abuse, because they are no longer reasonable at that point. So people understand and be able to watch out for this sign that this person. And one of the things that heighten to get to that level is when somebody is attacking your personality instead of facing the issue. They are attacking, going for your person. They are calling you names. So at that point, one person just check out emotionally from the relationship. So you just be wasting your energy if you are still trying to have that person at that point.
Thank
I don't know
you so
if
much. No, yes, you did justice to that question. I learned a lot from it as well, and I want to believe everyone out there, you are learning a lot from all that Tunbi is saying. I mean, we don't get to hear this often, so I will encourage us to keep watching this video over and over again, so that we can learn all of these things and apply them in our marriages. So that takes us to the last question. So Tunbi, as a professional counselor, you organize trainings and workshops, for counselors, for singles and married couples. And I understand you have one coming up soon, I think 12th of February,
Yes.
2022. That should be in 2 weeks' time.
Time.
Yeah, yeah, in 2 weeks' time on a Saturday, I think. And that should be around Valentine's period. So
Yeah.
to be precise, so what do couples stand to benefit when they attend this kind of workshops, or singles when they attend seminars like this or workshop where they will be meeting, with maybe other couples and counselors like yourself? What do they stand to gain at such events?
Okay, I think attending workshops, seminars about relationship from tested or people that you know that, oh, these people, what they are saying is in clinch to whatever you're doing. It's very, very germane to the success of your marriage or your relationship, because you need to update your knowledge about some of these things. Now,
True.
for this particular program that we are organizing, I'm super excited about it because we are going to be training. It's going to be a workshop. So you see, it's not just about bringing couples and just talking about only love things, but actually teaching them and handing them the tools that can make marriage to work. And you see, most of these tools are tested. They've been tested. They are research-based tools on how to actually resolve issues, manage conflicts, also have an update on what is happening with your partner. For some people, their knowledge about their partner is updated, is obsolete. They don't know the new that is happening with their partner. And human beings, we are dynamic, we change.
Hmm.
We are going to be teaching them, giving them assessments on how to act, how to be able to know your partner better, get close to them, be more intimate. It's not only sex that make people intimate. One
True.
of the greatest gifts you can give your partner is the gift of being known and them knowing you. It's fantastic.
True.
When you know your partner, you know what is happening in their world, then your marriage can be sustained.
True.
And so we are going to be helping them out with tools, with assessments. And it's not only for people whose relationship are okay. Even if your marriage is in distress, is one workshop that works for both. Either you have a strong marriage or your marriage is in distress. If your marriage is in distress, there are some of the things we are going to be doing that will help you and create awareness to let you see where things are not working. And not only to just see where things are not working, but what are the things you can do immediately to start seeing results? You get it? And
Yeah.
so those are the things we are going to be doing. It's going to be hands on desk on how to actually make your marriage work.
Work. Okay, so thank you so much, Tumbi. I believe we have all heard from her. She actually has a workshop coming up on the 12th of February for couples, and I think for singles as well. Please, you can avail yourself. You can check out Tunbi Olabisi on our social media platform for more information about this program. She has done justice to all the questions we asked her today, and I have really learned a lot, and I hope that you have also learned something. Please, let's go and watch this video over and over again, because actually premarital counseling and marriage counseling is very, very important. The benefit of getting it, cannot be over emphasized. So please, let's ensure that we get premarital counseling as singles, and as married couples, we get marriage counseling as well. So Tumbi, thank you very much for honoring our invitation. We celebrate you. We appreciate you for coming on our program, Marriage Clinic Live. Thank you so much. I hope to see you again We'll celebrate you. Thank you. Thank you. My regards to your husband and to your children. Hope to see you again.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.
Bye. So we have come to the end of today's program. Thank you so much for joining us. Like I said earlier, kindly do watch this video over and over again. Share the video with your friends, with your loved ones. And please, if you are yet to subscribe to our YouTube channel, kindly do so. Hit on the subscribe button as we promise to bring you more interesting program, and more guest speakers are going to be coming live on our program. Please make it a date with us. Join us as often as you can, and don't forget to subscribe. I remain your host, Morolayo Ann Owoputi. Until we'll see you again.